Now, of course, during the community hour, during our many shows and programs that we have here on WRMN, we always like to keep it very, we'd love to always tie in the community with it, right? We want to make sure people know what's happening. We want people to recognize businesses and organizations that are out there, especially very important organizations for folks who might want to find some help in certain areas or are looking for a specific product or service. We like to have folks on the air here, especially during the community hour, as it is about the community, and see some different perspectives and different developments and things like that. So we're very honored today. We've got the Marklund organization's 70-year legacy of serving individuals with profound developmental disabilities. And today we have Gil Fonger, who is the president and CEO of Marklund, on with us today. How you doing today?
Good, Matt. Thanks so much.
I'm so glad you were able to make it in today. I appreciate it.
It was an easy drive.
There you go. So Gil, tell us a little bit about how you got started with the Marklund organization. What kind of got you interested in having this passion?
Well, I've actually been in the not-for-profit kind of sector my entire career after I got out of the Coast Guard. And so I've been basically in various not-for-profits, but I've been at Marklund this is my 15th year at Marklund.
Awesome.
I was at another facility that did similar work for a couple years before that, but I've actually been at this work for 39 years because I have a daughter with developmental disabilities. So if you were to ask her who got dad the job, she'd say she did, and she would be right. So I've been at this work certainly from a parental view for a very long time.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit here too, what core values or mission elements have remained very constant throughout the decades, kind of understanding a little bit of the heart of the organization's longstanding mission?
Yeah, we were founded literally we were founded on December 21st, 1954, when our namesake, Mark William Lund, who was a newborn who had Down syndrome and severe cardiac issues, was born, and he was basically a local pediatrician asked a nurse by the name of Claire Haverkamp to take him into her home and care for him. And that really became the beginning of Marklund, which became the first, what was at that time called Skilled Pediatric Center in the state. So back in 1954, we started. And I would say our core values have really stayed the same, that, Claire Haverkamp, she ran toward the need, And so I think that has continued to be very much of a core value. I mean, our current strategic plan is serving the underserved, going towards the need. So I think that's been a very key characteristic. And in our mission statement, which we call our promise, has really been underlying our organization for these 71 years of making everyday life possible for individuals with profound disabilities. And that's the promise, that's the mission, that's what we do every day for the individuals that we serve.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. And what are some things that you do to kind of help folks out? What are some kind of daily activities? I mean, for probably everyone, it's going to be a little bit different, but generally speaking, what are some things that you do? I know that your vision is a happy, safe, purpose-filled life for every individual with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So how do you help to work with them kind of on a general basis?
Yeah, I mean, I think, other than my commute in this morning to this program, I got up, I had breakfast, I brushed my teeth, I took a shower, all those activities of daily living, of course, those are the kind of core that we would do. And then I go off to work. Well, instead of going off to work, they'll go off to our community day services. They'll be a part of activities where they volunteer or they go off to shop. They'll go to Now Arena to go to an event. They'll go to the Bulls game or a Bears game. So, I mean, if you think about the kind of daily activities that a person has, I'd say that the only difference is, in many ways, our residents have a better social life than most people because they actually have very structured, kind of activities that are of their interest. If you were to go into like one of the rooms that our individual that live, you'd see how individualized they are. I mean, we have some that are very sports minded, some others that are very, Taylor Swift minded, those that, have an interest in motorsports. It's like going into a college dorm room and seeing the individual interests that they have. And that's what we try to make sure that we tailor our program and our support of each individual in the ways that they're interested in doing things.
And also, too, I know that there was a recent, I think it was not too long ago, an expansion. Is that correct? For Wasman Center in Elgin?
Yes, we just, we're just completing actually this month
Awesome.
a $17.4 million expansion and renovation of the entire facility. So this is a facility that was they were founded, the Little Angels Center for Exceptional Care. They were founded back in 1958. And so in 2016, they made the decision to merge with Marklund. And then to honor their legacy, which was begun by Pat Wasman and her husband, Bob, we named it the Marklund Wasman Center.
Okay.
And so with this expansion, which has greatly updated the entire facility, we went from 61 beds where we serve. Now we serve 85 individuals there.
Oh, wow.
And it's a state-of-the-art facility with the most updated equipment and technology that's possible today. And so we feel that that's continuing to that legacy that the Wasmans started, back in 1958, and continue to enhance that, our ability to continue to provide those services to individuals in the Elgin area and beyond.
That's awesome. That's so cool. And so merge happened. It was in 2016. And so let's go on to talk a little bit here about a little bit on the highly specialized day schools and the Bridge Builder program. So talk to us a little bit about some of that.
Yeah, again, those are things responding to needs. So the Marklund Day School, so we have 4 sites. We have facilities for schools in Geneva, Bloomingdale, and Elgin. And then we have the Bridge Builder program is also in Elgin. So we have all of those sites. Plus, the Wasman Center itself has 3 Marklund Day School classrooms in it, which makes for our 4th Marklund Day School site. And so most of those individuals, now the individuals that we serve in the Wasman Center are largely individuals that live at the center, that they're too fragile to go out to school. But most of the other students that we have are ones that they come from home. They live at home, and the local school districts feel like we would be the better venue to provide for their educational needs. And so we actually work through we serve 30 school districts. U46 in Elgin is the 2nd largest school district in the state, and they have a lot of students that come to our school. And so our school basically goes from preschool all the way through what's called 18, and then the next 3 years is called transition, 18 to 21. So we serve from 3-year-olds all the way to 21-year-olds.
Okay.
And then the Bridge Builder program came out of, so each spring we have parents from our various programs come in a parent panel to our board. And one of the consistent themes that came through some of our school parents was, what's going to happen to my individual, because we serve a lot of individuals on the autism spectrum. What's going to happen to my son or daughter when they get out of transition, they turn 22 years old? And so the Bridge Builder program was really an answer to that. It's this whole theme of serving the underserved, going towards the need. And so we developed this Bridge Builder program, which is for those that have gotten out of transition, so they're 22 years old and over, to give them a program that's going to help support them in becoming more independent. And so we built that just a few years ago, and so it's been a very successful program that we're continuing to expand.
That's awesome. And I mean, these buildings are absolutely beautiful. For folks watching on the YouTube side of things, here's one, for example, the Nathan Education Center. You have, of course, the Marklund Wasman Center and School. You also have the how's it pronounced? Foglia?
Foglia.
Education Center. I mean, these beautiful buildings, you put so much time and effort into it to create a space for each individual to enjoy and to feel comfortable in. And I think that that's so important. And that's a wonderful thing that you do. And again, this Bridge Builder program is relatively new. Is that correct?
Yeah, we just started that back in 2022.
Okay.
So it's really a very unique program in the state because there really aren't nearly enough programs to help support individuals once they get out of school. Once they get out of the public school, where there's that federal mandate to provide education for individuals with developmental disabilities. That there isn't that real mandate, once they get out. And so there just aren't a lot of organizations that are taking on this huge and really a tsunami of need of adults with autism that need that kind of support to help live a fuller life. Yep. And so we really do feel like it's part of our DNA to look for where the need is and how can we help address it.
Very good. Let's go a little bit into the role at your staff. So you have nurses, you have aides, therapists, and teachers. They play a huge role in shaping the culture of care at Marklund. How do you support them in such emotionally and physically demanding work?
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I mean, I go to every new staff orientation, and I always ask the question, who's my customer? I know it's kind of a strange question to ask. Who's my customer? And sometimes they'll say, the residents, the students, the day clients, they'll say the parents and guardians. And I'll say, of course, these are all very important people, but, who's my most important customer? And ultimately I say, you are, you, the staff, because otherwise Marklund, as beautiful as these buildings are, they're just buildings. It's staff that make the programs and make what we do possible in the services that we bring the individuals that we serve. So I have an open door policy, so I give all of them my business card, so they have my cell phone, my email address. So and at every level of our leadership, very attuned to supporting staff that are in very challenging situations. In the residents and the students that we serve, we're not serving the easy ones. These are challenging situations, and we have an incredible staff. We have almost 500 staff members.
Wow.
And 100 there's a staff award called the Claire Haverkamp Award, which is really chosen by the staff for an individual staff member each year. And so you have to be here 7 years as a staff member to be eligible for to be considered for that award. And we have 125 staff that have been with us 7 years or longer.
That's great.
So we have a lot of long-term staff who have a huge heart for what we do. And frankly, we've got one staff member who's been with us for 48 years.
48 years.
Yeah, 40.
Oh, wow.
That's so, and we have a lot of staff that are 20, 30, 40 years. I mean, I said this is my 15th year. I'm like a baby in comparison to a lot of our senior staff that have been with us for so long. And I learn a lot from them. I do an annual listening tour to go around and have the staff. We do an annual survey of our staff for them to give us feedback on how we're doing. So we really do try to make sure our compensation and benefits are competitive, to give them the financial and benefit support that they need, and in every way try to give the staff back. And they say that if you don't feed your staff, they'll eat your clients. Yeah, well, that's of course that's not, but it's one of the things is make sure that you're giving the staff the kind of support that they need so that they can give the care that our residents need.
That's very important for sure. I wanted to talk to you. You have something called is it called Wheelie Fun Wednesdays? Is that right?
Yes, we do. So
this is something. It's called New Wheelie Fun Wednesdays at Marklund. At the Wasman Center.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's interesting with the expansion we just did at Wasman, that facility was never connected to its community.
Okay.
And so with that expansion, and actually it was a staff member, one of my board members who thought, hey, why don't we make this little 20-foot connection to the neighborhood that's just to our south? And so with the support of the city of Elgin, we were able to make this little sidewalk connection. So now we actually can take our residents on walks, well, in wheelchairs, but take them on. We have volunteers that will then push them and take them on walks into the neighborhood, which is something that we never could do before we did the expansion. And it was really kind of a serendipitous type of thing. Go, wow, that makes perfect sense to add that little sidewalk. And the city of Elgin was incredibly supportive of that, of us doing that, making that connection.
That's awesome. I think what's also good too, generally about Markland, is to try to address certain stigmas and promote awareness as well. So how do you help to incorporate that and let people know and educate people?
One of the really great ways that we do that is through our volunteers. We have well over 1,000 volunteers who are in various aspects of Markland. Working with our residents, reading to them, taking them on outings, the wheelie fun Wednesday type things. But then also we have school groups that come in. Like kindergartners that come in, and the individuals that we serve are not like you'd see in Special Olympics. Our residents are largely non-ambulatory, non-verbal. But I was just talking before about how personal they are, how personalized they are. And I think that's the thing that comes across that when someone first meets them, they might go, oh, because they've never really probably seen an individual with that kind of a severe and profound developmental disability. But then they very quickly find like, oh my gosh, what a personality they have. They smile. You can tell what they enjoy. And it's, and some, can actually express themselves. But I think that's been a huge part of us educating the public in many ways. And then they tell other people about, what it is that we do. And frankly, through our school groups, we've gotten a lot of adult parents who've gotten involved in things that we do at Markland because their kids come back and say the experience that they had.
That's awesome. I think another great way too is that you're involved on social media. So posting on social media, especially on Facebook as well, letting people know about what's going on, having that followership, at least almost 6,000 followers on your Facebook page. And so people know what's going on, what's happening, and you're educating people through even just pictures, because pictures can really show 1,000 words.
Yeah, Matt, thanks so much for mentioning that. Because, our footprint in social media is very extensive. And I think it is a great way that we have those videos out there, and a lot of them are taken by staff members, as part of the events that they do, our summer games that we do, to show this everyday life that it's our promise to bring to those that we serve. And I think those become the storyboards. They give you at least a sense of the kind of fullness of the environment that we serve.
I think that's great. That's fantastic. You have so many different events as well, too, and people can get involved. There's several ways to get involved at Markland as part of the community. There's ways that people can make donations. I know that you also do offer some special events as well, too, that people can check out. I know coming up next year, there's a 30th annual Top Hat Ball. That's coming up February 7th of next year.
Yes.
There's an inaugural run that's coming up in April. So there's a lot of different things. The 13th annual run and walk and roll was in Geneva a couple days ago.
Right. It was our most successful yet. It was so in many ways, we look at our special events. They have a fundraising component to them, but we really see them as friend raisers, as a way to basically expand our image and kind of what we do at Markland. So like the 5K runs, 5K run, walk and rolls that we do, and we do a 1 mile walk as well. And so we just had our 13th in Geneva, and then we'll have, like you said, we'll have our first one in Elgin here coming up this next April. Awesome. So it's a great way for us to, they're not terribly expensive, to be a part of something like this, and you'll be a part of hundreds of people that are helping to support us. So I think not only are you going to get a little bit of exercise and maybe you get your personal record, but you're going to feel great about being a part of this because there'll be residents that are part of it, there'll be parents and guardians that are part of it, and then the general public that's there to help support us.
That's awesome. I know you also do offer a newsletter as well. I mean, you offer so many things. This is fantastic. So you offer a care letter news letter. It includes different things. So there's spring, summer, fall, and winter. So folks can check that out on the website. You can check out careers, support Marklund, day services, education, anything when it comes to residential. I mean, you can even check out some of the photo galleries that are featured on there too, from some things that were in summer of the past years. So you can always feel free to check that out, folks, if you would like to. Well, I appreciate you coming on here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Matt.
We still have a couple minutes left, so I want to talk to you a little bit. You just mentioned here, so looking ahead, what's your vision for, I know this is it's a big question, but what's your vision for the next 5 to 10 years at Marklund? Are there any new initiatives or goals that you're particularly maybe excited about or thinking about doing?
Well, actually, it was probably about 5 years ago now, we bought 3.5 acres in Elgin to build a small cluster of group homes for individuals that aren't as severe and profound as we currently serve, but they would be those that are more medically complex and have more behavioral issues, like the individuals that are on the autism spectrum. Mm-hmm. And this is another need that's there's thousands of individuals in Illinois that need residential placement, and especially for those that have the more medical and behavioral issues. And so, again, this serving the underserved, we want to build 7 group homes, 7 individual homes on these half-acre lots on this 3.5 acres. And so we're excited about, expanding into kind of a new niche of service to individuals that are definitely have the need.
Absolutely. Well, folks, you can check out more information. This is at marklund.org. That's marklund.org. Gil, thank you so much for coming in today. Greatly appreciate it. It was such an honor to talk to you, and we will definitely have you on again. And we'd love to be here at WRMN, a part of some of your events.
Wonderful. Thank you, Matt. This is an honor.
All right. Thank you so much. Folks, we're going to take a quick time out. We'll be back with more here on the Community Hour, WRMN. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.